We're also going to do a crash course on Esposito, spelt Esposito. There is a yearning in Malta for local pictures, and there is a crowd of Esposito artists who are Maltese Italian. No one is sure of all of the dates and all of the places they always lived. They moved around. This is the generalisation. And there are, in the book about the Maltese artists, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Espositos. And to summarise, they paint Malta and other places, Italy for example, Naples. So we're going to go through them. I'm going to show you examples of each one. The most numerous Esposito paintings on the market in Malta are by Vincenzo, and he will often sign with a V, but he will always use a D apostrophe. So he is Vincenzo Desposito, and he does tiny little cigarette card sized pictures, and he does fantastic big ones as well, like this one here. This is a gouache watercolour. The little ones you can get in Malta for under €100 unframed, and there are lots on the market, but they're extremely cursory. They're done for tourists. They're extremely basic pictures, very basic pictures, but there are the more elaborate ones. If it has Malta on it, it's going to be a picture for export to the visitors, the tourists, the services, the British usually the British buyers who take them back to England. So there's a lot of his products around. The big ones like this are getting expensive. The little ones, as I say, are not very expensive, though the day will come when they're expensive. So he's Desposito, V Desposito. He doesn't always use the V. This is where it gets confusing, but he always uses the D apostrophe. So that's one of them. There's another one. He's got the same name, Esposito, and he also uses a D. Sometimes he uses the initial G. I don't know what the G stands for. Every book I look at, every sale room I look at, calls his Christian name something else. Giuseppe, Giacomo, Gaetano, you name it, you'll find attributions like that. But what's happening is they get confused with this artist, who is Italian Esposito, who doesn't use the D at all. So we can make some distinctions. The first distinction is this Desposito does gouaches, usually of vessels. Sometimes they have Malta in the background, sometimes they have Vesuvius in the background. And the ships can be British, they can be Italian, they can be American, they can be naval, they can be private. And these are called, in England now, rightly or wrongly, these are called pierhead pictures. And you can get pierhead pictures from anywhere. They have them in China, in the British colonial times, it's called China Station, where they have the junks, painted the same way. They have them in North America, though they're often not in gouache in North America. They have them in France, on each coast. They have them in Germany, they have them in Denmark. So it's a type of picture. This artist, this Esposito, who uses the D, sometimes the G, uses a white paint to sign, always. So he's a lovely, consistent artist. And these are expensive pictures, because pierhead pictures are always expensive, whoever they buy, they're always expensive. And there are other artists like Da Simone who do a very similar thing. Okay, this one here is not Maltese in any way, and it's oil. And we know that it's a distinct thing from those. There's no overlap other than the name. But he doesn't. This artist doesn't use a D apostrophe. He is Gaetano Esposito, and he signs with a G. And he doesn't use watercolour. He only uses oil. So this one here is a solid piece of wood, natural wood, with a minimal curvature. It is stamped Napoli, it's pine or softwood of some sort, and you have a picture of a woman with a fantastic headdress. It's very much of the epoch, of the era. It's not Belle Epoque because it's not in France, but it's Belle Epoque era sort of thing. And Gaetano, these ones, they're not Maltese, I've got it in Malta, but these are so much money, they're so expensive, but they're absolutely wonderful. And if you go on the internet and put in Gaetano Esposito, you'll see he does lots of portraits. And most of the portraits are these girls. To add to those 3 Espositos, there are other ones. And there are also fakes, and there are minor Espositos who sign their name. So it's really difficult to be sure. But if you sort of are aware it's difficult when it comes to this name, it will help you pick what you want. Okay, thank you.